Hey, what's going on, everyone? Greg here, and I have been waiting for this day for a long time. If you have been following the channel, you know how excited I was when we first started hearing some of those rumors about a smaller sized iPhone this year with a 5.4-inch display that would be even smaller than the iPhone SE, but have that full screen iPhone X style design. And it is here. Today, it is finally here, the iPhone 12 mini. I am so excited to start unboxing this and start using this phone because out of any other iPhone 12 in the lineup, this is the one that I was looking forward to the most. So let's go over and unbox this, and then I'm going to give you some of my first initial impressions. And you know this isn't my usual setup. This is like a poor man's everyday dad setup, but I was just so excited to open this and I wanted to get my raw reaction to it. So let's go ahead and open up the iPhone 12 mini. So you can see here we have the box of the iPhone 12 mini. I actually got the white version. I got the blue version of the iPhone 12. It was a good color, but overall I think I wanted to go for that more classic aesthetic design of something like the iPhone 5 in that white silver version. But you can see it's that reduced packaging size that we now get with the iPhone 12, so don't expect any sort of charger inside of it. Let's go ahead and just open it up. Get that plastic sound. Ooh. And there it is. The iPhone 12 mini, like I said, got it in white. We'll just go over some of the other stuff that's inside of here. Your USB-C to Lightning cable, a couple of pamphlets over here. What do we get in our pamphlet? Oh, it's that rare single Apple sticker. Apple's cheaping out on us. They're trying to just make as much money as possible because they're a corporation. They're only giving us one Apple sticker now, right? That's what a lot of people would probably say. But reduced packaging with the iPhone 12 now. But we don't care about any of this. We don't care about that junk. We care about this guy, the iPhone 12 mini. Look at that. Beautiful. Ooh. Wow, this is really the perfect size. Look how nice this fits in my hand. It is just super nice. And you could just see the size difference when I bring my iPhone 12 Pro over to it. It is quite smaller. You can see just how much smaller the iPhone 12 mini is when I bring it over to my iPhone 12 Pro. And this isn't even the biggest phone in Apple's lineup. You got the iPhone 12 Pro Max. So just taking a look at both of these and seeing the size difference, yeah, I think this phone is going to make a lot of people happy who have been waiting for a smaller, modern-day flagship from Apple. But let's go ahead and turn this on. I'm going to power it on. I'm going to step away from this table, and I'm going to come back and give you some more initial impressions. Okay, I am back. I have set up the iPhone 12 mini. I've been using it for a little bit, but I got back here pretty quick once everything started loading from my iCloud backup. And I gotta say, I am pretty impressed with this phone. It is everything that Apple has promised us. It is just a regular iPhone 12 in a smaller size body. In fact, I actually brought over some of the previous smaller phones that Apple used to make. This is the iPhone SE over here, iPhone 12 mini in the middle, and of course the iPhone SE, which is the body design of the iPhone 5, which was a 4-inch screen, and this is when Apple used to make phones that were really small. Now, I want to show you these because look at this. So, the iPhone 12 mini is smaller than the iPhone SE. The iPhone 12 mini is actually smaller than this 4.7-inch phone. And you can just see the full screen design, how much more of a difference that makes. When you look at the iPhone SE on the right, you look at the iPhone 12 mini on the left, and you can see that because it goes edge to edge, even though this is a smaller body, you're getting a lot more screen real estate than you would on this phone. I mean, just look at the difference there. So I really like that. Now, the iPhone SE is great. It was a smaller phone. But look at this. Look at when we bring it back to the original 4-inch phone. And you can see the iPhone SE, or the original iPhone 5, it's still smaller than the iPhone 12 mini, but not by much. Not by much. So that is great. I was going to say that's huge, but it's not huge because it's tiny. The fact that this gets so close in size to that original iPhone 5 design, The phone design that people were reluctant to switch over when Apple went to bigger phone sizes with the iPhone 6. The fact that it has taken this long from the iPhone 6 all the way back in, I believe, 2014 to now in 2020 to get us to a modern day flagship phone. Don't forget, this is still a flagship phone. It still has the A14 processor, still has the same 2-camera system as the regular iPhone 12, so it's going to take great pictures. Has 5G, has millimeter wave 5G in this tiny phone. Now, I think the biggest questions here, and this is something I can't answer in this video because I just got the phone, is how is battery life going to be on this phone? Obviously, because it's a smaller phone, Apple is limited in body size to how big of a battery they can put in here. And, you don't need me to tell you that. That was concerns we had as soon as they announced the phone. We looked at the battery capacity inside of it. And if you're looking at modern day phones, you're probably thinking, well, is that going to be enough to get you through a day? Apple says that this iPhone 12 mini has about 15 hours of battery life through video playback. If you're looking at this iPhone SE, this is rated at 13 hours. I thought the battery on this was a little rough, so this has a little more. Maybe that'll be enough to get me through a day. The iPhone 12, obviously, that gets me about 10% at the end of the day. That's supposed to have a 17-hour battery life, so this is in the middle of the iPhone 12 and this iPhone SE. 15 hours, that might be cutting it. It might be a phone that you need to charge halfway through the day. I think that's the biggest open question for me right now, is just how is the battery life going to perform? And maybe there's some methods where we can actually save battery life. For instance, I know that 5G connectivity, it just takes up a lot of battery life. There's no way around it. Apple actually has a power saver mode with the iPhone 12 and the iPhone 12 mini and even the iPhone 12 Pros, where it will automatically switch between 5G and 4G LTE to save battery. Maybe for this, especially if 5G isn't that good in your area, I know it's not in my area, the speed differences are negligible. Maybe the thing with the iPhone 12 mini is just to go into settings and turn off 5G, and maybe that will actually give it enough battery to get you through a day. Again, these are all questions. I don't have the answers for you right now. You're going to have to wait for the future full review video before I can tell you what battery life is like. I'm sorry, I'm just getting distracted by how small this is again. I mean, remember taking phone calls like this? Now you won't look like a crazy person having a giant 6.7-inch phone when you do that. Although, to be fair, I don't think many people are taking calls like this anymore. I know I usually use my AirPods now. But getting away from the size, we know that was one of the big selling points. The other big selling point with this, though, for people who wanted that smaller sized iPhone, that's great. But we do have to acknowledge that this is now the cheapest iPhone 12 in the lineup. It starts at $699, or I think it's $729 if you buy it unlocked. And that is cheaper than the regular sized iPhone 12, which starts at $799. So I think a lot of people are going to be happy with this because it is a smaller phone, but we also have to see, are people buying this because they like the small size, or are people buying this because it's just the cheapest iPhone 12 in the lineup, and that's the easiest way to get the modern day flagship. The camera on the iPhone 12, I already tested it out. Again, it's the same camera system as the iPhone 12, so I'm not expecting any different results here. And the photos on that look quite good. They have a lot of great new features with computational photography, so you could do night mode on the wide-angle lens and on the ultra-wide-angle lens and on the front-facing camera as well, so you can get some night mode selfie shots. Another thing to like about the iPhone 12 mini is it has the same screen. Now, it is a 5.4-inch screen. Obviously, we're talking about the size. So it's smaller than the iPhone 12, but it's still an OLED display, still has the same caliber display as that phone, and that is to say it is quite good. There is a difference in brightness between this and the Pro models. So in outdoor brightness, this gets up to 625 nits. The Pros can get up to 800 nits. Overall, in my testing, again, I've been using the 12 and 12 Pro for the past few weeks now. It's a hard difference to notice unless you're in really bright direct sunlight, which is kind of hard to test out right now in the fall season. Of course, you also have the new MagSafe system available on all of the iPhone 12 models. That is a circular ring of magnets around the iPhone 12, and that means you can attach accessories. They have a MagSafe wireless charger that goes on the back, kind of attaches like an Apple Watch charger. This is actually the wallet attachment I have right here. I quite like it. I've seen some people say that when they put it on and they slip it in their jeans pocket, it falls off. For me, I haven't had that issue, but maybe I'm not wearing tight enough jeans. But you could just stick this on the back of your iPhone 12 mini or iPhone 12, whatever iPhone you have. And you can see you get a nice little wallet attachment here. It fits about 3 cards. But I think the cool thing about MagSafe isn't even these initial Apple accessories. It's what third parties will be able to do in the future. I've seen a couple of third-party vendors already releasing accessories for the iPhone 12, and it's really cool. You just have this nice system here where you can just attach things easily on the back of your iPhone. So we'll see what happens in the future. I hope someone makes a magnetic MagSafe battery pack, especially for the iPhone 12 mini. Again, we're worrying about battery life. I think that would be something really nice to have on the mini. Maybe you wouldn't have to use it all the time, but for those few occasions where you're going to be draining that battery, it would be nice to have that option. Obviously, it does have the A14, like I mentioned before. This makes it super fast, super snappy. I'm still loading up stuff from iCloud, so I'm not going to do a Geekbench or anything like that. We already know the scores for the A14 processor. They're quite high. But even setting this up, even downloading all this stuff, the interface is just smooth and snappy. Really, really nice performance on this. All right, so obviously this isn't a full review. I'm not going into every single spec, every single deep dive here. Again, this is a unboxing and initial impressions of the iPhone 12 mini, but I really do feel like this phone changes everything. Now, it might not be the phone for you. You might be the person out there going to get your iPhone 12 Pro Max today with a big 6.7-inch display. That's fine, but for a pretty significant portion of the audience, they have been waiting years for a flagship, smaller sized iPhone, and we really weren't sure if we were ever going to see one again. Now we have that with the iPhone 12 mini, and right off the bat, there's still a lot of things I have to test, obviously, especially battery life. But first impressions, I'm pretty much blown away. There's a lot of concerns I had with this phone with the smaller display that don't seem to be there. It is super pocketable when you're putting it in your pocket. It feels like nothing's there. The phone is just super light. It really feels like you're holding nothing. And I have been looking forward to using a smaller phone again for quite some time. So, barring battery life, we're gonna see how that works out. I think this might end up being the iPhone 12 that I use for the rest of the year. But we're going to have to wait for a future video to find out if that is true. So hopefully you liked this video. If you did, make sure you give me a like. If you want to see more from my channel, including a full review of the iPhone 12 mini, make sure you're subscribed. If you want to help the channel out in any way, make sure you check out some of the links in the description. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care, everyone. All right, are we done here? Okay, we're done. No one's here? Am I alone? I'm gonna go spend some time with my iPhone 12 mini now.